Aaron, I guess Aaron is our hydrologist, our chief hydrologist. He will tell you how water will run uphill. Aaron Bunker.
Besides the rent report, I'll give with the attachment in the report I provided, I gave a rate comparison that VVWDBoard just completed, and they mailed it out. It was right after Christmas. In that report, this is actually what I provided, something I put together, because the report they provided was incorrect for our numbers. They had our per 1,000 gallon rate as at $3 and I think it was 55 cents or $3.59, I can't remember. And so it was totally skewed and incorrect comparison. So I went and put this table together showing specifically with the information they provided and updated or corrected our line. So you can kind of see that how that compares to the other participants within the state of Nevada. And then this, I don't know if you have any specific questions.
I've got one.
Sure.
In comparing us to Southern Nevada Water Authorities, their first tier is about the same as ours. Is that not correct?
And the first entities on there, like Las Vegas Valley Water District, Big Bend, which is Laughlin, yeah. City of Henderson, and the City of North Las Vegas, they all fall underneath the umbrella of
right,
SNWA.
I appreciate it.
So,
but what I'm trying to ask you is that second tier, we're about on the same level as them, right?
I guess you're saying like the amount of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Up to that first 11,000 gallons.
Right now we have a very large first tier.
Right.
Some of them, our first tier covers 3 or even 4 tiers in some of these entities.
But what I'm trying to get at is this doesn't give us a fair.
No, what this is based on, I should go on that a little bit. Down on the very bottom where it has the asterisk, this is based on someone using 11,220 gallons. Mm-hmm. And so it's comparing apples to apples across the board. So if you use that amount of water in any one of these locations, this is what your bill would be.
I understand
so that kind of takes that and I guess again allows it to be compared apples to apples.
What I'm saying, the next tier up, if you compare our rate to say Southern Nevada Water Authority, theirs goes up what 3 or 4 times more than ours does.
Right. Same with like Washington County Water Conservancy District. Right. Really
That's
starts
the point
escalating quite rapidly.
And that's
big water users are impacted substantially.
And as you recall, when Mike Chandler from Bowen Collins presented his rate study information to us, I think back in October, we were looking at changing the gallon usage per tier. We discussed that at that time, and it's something that we'll look at in the future to bring ours more in line with the larger municipalities rather than the rural.
And good information.
So yeah, this is, I mean, it really is just a comparison. It's not necessarily going to help us. I mean, specifically with as we go forward looking at the rates and whatnot, we got to cover what our needs are. But this is kind of what shows how we compare with other entities going through the same things.
Just a minute, we got a question from late to the meeting, Barbara.
Can you explain commodity category?
Commodity charge, that is the specific, their use, like per 1,000 gallons. So.
And how does that differ from the other charge right in front of it?
The fixed charge?
Yeah.
That is like the base rate. Like at the water district, we have $18.09. That's, if you don't use a gallon, yet you have your hookup on, that's what you have to pay regardless. Okay. And then so the commodity charge is the amount that actually goes through your meter. And then those combined will give you that total.
Why is our connection fee for new homes so much higher? We're second in the state.
Well,
and if you take out the skewed one, which is $11,000, we're the highest in the state.
Well, this is only the ones that participated in this.
Okay, but that's a pretty good example across the state.
It's to meet our needs. That's. I wasn't here when it was made, so it's a good question.
Okay, thanks.
Truck is only $70 less so far.
Okay. We have 5,000 lots out there that's already been paid for. We're never going to get anything out of
That,
that.
and that's part of the
Some
whole
of it-
rate
some of
study.
it-
I mean, you're asking a question that takes a whole process to do, so.
Is that gonna be part of the rate study? Those aren't those connection two fees?
No. Are you taking ordinance 2 fees?
Ordinance two fees, I mean.
That's,
That's not
It's a good
specific with
look
the
at
rate,
it.
I guess, but it's
That
more
doesn't-
with, it would take a study, I guess what I'm getting at, it would take a study to do that.
Okay.
So-
But is that connection fee the same, lingo-wise, is it the same as our ordinance two fees?
No.
No, this includes,
includes-
you have impact fees and ordinance 2 fees. Those are
Okay.
combined, so it's.
Into that one category?
And connection.
Okay.
And that could be, if that's how these other entities have lumped theirs together. So to go back, I'd have to go back and specifically look at what their fees incorporate. And so
Okay.
it's,
But that's a combination of our impact
That
fees and
is.
ordinance two
Yes.
fees. It's a combination, it's not just a single fee. Is that correct? Okay.
It's actually three.
It's three.
Three?
And a connection fee.
Impact, connection, and ordinance two.
and plus the meter cost.
That's the connection.
Right,
And
well-
you might explain to these students, to pay for growth, any municipality can put an ordinance two or whatnot. So if we need a new school, you're gonna build a new house, we'll put an ordinance two fee on there to pay for the new school. And if any politician tells you growth pays for himself, stand up and tell him he's lying. Because it doesn't.
You know, in the past, I actually went and called around and got some, these combined fees specifically for the purchase of water and the impact itself on the system. And I can't remember what they were right now. I've provided in the past, they've been in our work packets, you know, like Washington County Water Conservancy District, and I can't remember them all, but we were, I even called to some of the locals around here, like in Arizona, all within the Virgin Valley Basin as well.
Okay.
But we have those in there.
I just wanted a better understanding. I'm not arguing with you, I just wanted a better understanding of the
But that's-
lingo.
Without going and checking these specifically, I don't know if that's just their impact fees or if it's a combined fee like what we provided.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Nope, I don't see anything. Mr. Brown?
Under item number 1, the general system repairs, I'm not going to talk about what's written there, but today we were notified that one of our booster pumps at well number 27 that we just replaced about 6 months ago failed again today. We don't know yet. We haven't had a chance to get back into the files and look at that since we found out at 3 o'clock today, and so we'll look at that. We don't know why it failed. Philip scoped it, put a camera down inside of it. There's a severe amount of pitting and pieces of the impeller that are missing inside of it. We're scratching our heads right now trying to figure out why that happened. So we'll start looking at that over the next couple of days and figure out what we need to do on that. I'm going to jump down to number 3. I met with Aaron Baker from the city to discuss a potential property site over in the commercial industrial area for a potential booster station site, so that when we run that pipeline from the additional redundant pipeline from Bunkerville to the west side where the new freeways interchange is being proposed, we have a site there for that booster station to build in the future. So we're just in the preliminary stages right now. Part of some property exchanges that the city's doing right now. There's like a little 1 acre triangular piece that the city doesn't feel like they're going to be able to use, and they think they're going to be able to give that to us. So.
I got that picture down.
On the next page, Wes and Aaron and I are working on submitting a couple of projects to the Nevada funding agency, DEP, for potential funding in the future. That includes the redundant line I just talked about, new source, a new well, and I can't remember what the third one was off the top of my head, but those submissions will be going to the NDEP the middle of February. And,
Let me just, if I could, Kevin, just point out that when we do that, what we're really doing is just putting a placeholder
Right.
on their list. So it's not something that we have to
Accept or-
formally accept or do anything with, but it puts us in a position where if we decided we wanted to have funding, we could get it on a reduced rate basis through the state's funding arrangement.
Yeah, the first step you have to do is get on their priority list and that's what we're doing right now, is to get our projects identified on their funding priority list. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about is I'm working on the request for statements of qualifications from various professional engineering groups. Right now, we are heavily invested in Bowen Collins and Forsgren Engineering, primarily Bowen Collins, and I want to open that pool up a little bit more and get a few more consultants on board for us to use on those future projects for designs. I'm hoping to get that RFQ out on the street the end of January, and then hopefully by the end of first meeting in March, have a recommendation come back to you to have 3 or 4 consultants in an engineering pool for us. So
Okay,
that's all I've got.
thank you.